questions I get asked quite a lot is, what should I do if I feel stuck where I'm at as a developer? It can be quite overwhelming to learn all the new language features or APIs or everything that's been introduced the past couple of years. One of the things I try to do myself is to find places in my current projects or in new projects where applying those new principles might make sense, and gradually learn one or two language features when I feel the need to. Attending a conference like NDC helps me and other developers learn that as well. It's about sharing experience of how to get it into a product or how it fits into a business that makes most sense. Especially to me, I like to help my clients the best way possible. And that doesn't always necessarily mean that I have to use the latest and greatest technology. It might actually mean that I have to rely on older technology, older versions of C#, older versions of .NET, and that's completely fine. Just because there's a new version of Angular or Swift or Kotlin C#, it doesn't have to mean that you need to jump onto those new versions. It can be quite overwhelming to think that you have to work with all the latest and greatest. But every developer feels the same, and you shouldn't feel that you have to learn everything just because there's a new version. You can solve most of the problems using what's available in your toolkit. Then again, being able to express yourself in new ways, using new language features, might mean that you can build code that works a little bit different from what you used to in the past. Code that might be less problematic, code that works better and has less errors, which ultimately might make your clients or your business owners or your employers a lot more happier. So don't feel overwhelmed with all the new language features. If you want to, and if you have the time to, try to learn one or two every other month. Try to explore some new tools during your work hours. Get your employer to send you to things like NDC or other types of conferences. Engage with other developers and talk about the fact that you do maybe feel overwhelmed with all the new versions of languages and versions of toolkits. I think it's important to talk about the feeling that you don't always have to use the latest and the greatest. Use what feels best in your working environment and what's best for your type of project. So that's some of my thoughts around if you have to learn all the latest and greatest, and if you really have to jump on to the latest versions of programming languages. I hope you feel confident that if you want to, you can explore them on your own time. But don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to just because there's a new version released. I'm Filip Ekberg, and thank you so much for listening to this.